My name is Chris Phillips. So I play one of the main characters. Myself and Alpha, we um, we have to transport. We have to walk through an airport, and I had to look quite stressed doing so with Alpha. Yes, it's my first time. I'd say definitely. It's a nice chance to sort of behave in a different way, and it's a nice experience. It's about a couple trying to make their way through an airport to escape the country with a USB drive, whilst being hunted by a shadowy figure, a villain, dressed in a suit. I thought it was really great. Everyone was really helpful. Everyone made, everyone took really good care to make sure the shots were good and to standard. I really enjoyed. Just so much care was taken into lighting a shot, or maybe setting proper camera angles, making sure everything looks good visually, really. Well, I was recast as one of the main characters, and I was given female lines, so that was a tad uncomfortable. Not wasn't too bad though. I was originally cast as the villain, but it was nice to try something different.
My name's John Parker. So within the short film, my role's been sort of director with Jared, kind of overseeing the whole process. Myself and Jared met last summer to review the work that our first years had done, and we both decided that we were happy with the work on the first year, but we wanted to build on some of that stuff, and some of that stuff was set dressing to make an environment seem different to how it actually is. So we went away and I started the groundwork, writing the script and looking at some of the logistics in terms of what we wanted to turn the college into. Basically, we want students to then come away and be able to film somewhere but make it look like something else. So in sex education, they use St Fagan's Museum. They use that as Cavendish College in the season 4. So we wanted to do stuff like that. So I went away and started writing a draft script. Me and Jared looked at it, decided it wasn't going to be great. We then looked at logistics, where we were going to film everything. And from then on, my role, similarly to Jared's, was looking after a group of people. So I sort of coached, if you like, because there wasn't that much teaching happening. So I coached the project managers to a degree and the asset team, so creating all the signage, the digital signage, stuff like that, and just oversaw those elements of the project whilst Jared would oversee the film inside more. So the film is loosely based on two characters who are essentially on the run, but for a just or a good cause. So again, when I was planning this, I was just trying to find bits of inspiration, and I'd recently rewatched the Amazing Spider-Man series, the one with Andrew Garfield, and there's a series of scenes in that where we find out why his parents, I think Richard and Mary Parker, I can't remember their names, it may be that, they're on the run because they've managed to develop something which could be used for biological weapons. So they're on a run, on the run through an airport and kind of on a plane scene, and then they get, kind of struck off. So that's because we were doing this whole sort of airport thing, and I wanted it to be thriller. And I'd recently watched that. It's basically based off that. So you've got two characters. They're on the run from a suspicious sort of background character who's stalking and following them. So yeah, and it leaves a lot of enigma then. So we don't really know what it is that they've got, and that leaves the audience, hopefully, depending on how the edit comes together, asking a lot of questions then. I think I find it stressful. I think I get more stressed than a lot of people. And that can be down to multiple different things. what you'll find when you've got hundreds of people working on set together, and I know this is very, very small in comparison to sets, TV and film sets. What you'll find is people have different kind of work styles, and people work differently to each other, which is really great. But I find it particularly stressful because there's a lot of things, so many elements that the one person can't control. So if something's going wrong, and if I've been on this project from the beginning and I've got really high hopes, but there's some things which are just outside of my control and I want it to go perfectly, it can be quite challenging personally for me. Some people are a lot more, can be a lot more kind of chilled with it, and that can be a good thing, and it can be a bad thing. But I found it quite stressful. I do another role 2 days a week within the college. I've got other kind of groups that I need to teach. And this is such a massive logistical project to make sure everyone is doing exactly what they need to do. Because if one person doesn't do one thing, somebody doesn't bring one piece of costume on one shoot day, has a massive knock-on effect to everything. Or if one piece of equipment isn't ready or a battery isn't charged, it just pushes everything back and it has a massive knock-on effect. So it's a really high pressure thing, and yeah, stressed, I guess, is the answer. Quite a lot. Focus is an issue we've had. On the C300, you've got a really small monitor, so when we've been previewing back some of the footage on set, it looks as if it's in focus. And one of the pieces of equipment that we don't have, which film sets do, film sets will have, I was been watching the new Doctor Who episodes as they come out, and they've got Doctor Who Confidential after it on BBC Three, and they're really, really good to watch behind the scenes stuff because they do it for every episode, so it is good. And what you'll notice is they have these sort of big, each department, like costume, hair, first AD, second AD, they'll all have these big monitors, so everyone can look from different points of view and check back the footage. So you've got people checking literally just focus, people checking just lighting, costume, people checking hair. In the previous scene, his hair was that way, is it still that way? So we've got this tiny monitor to check everything from props to camera angles to lighting. If we're filming outside and the sun's come out all of a sudden, and then it's the clouds in the next shot, trying to check continuity of everything and particularly focus on a small screen is really difficult. Where a college, we're limited so much by budgets and stuff like that. So I think we've done really well. But when we've played back some of the footage, like the exterior shots of T Cork, we're struggling to find a shot which is absolutely what we want. So focus issues is one of the biggest things that I've encountered. And just managing that amount of people and making sure that everyone's busy. There will be some people who have more downtime, and just trying to make sure that the people who have downtime have got something to do or they're not messing around on set is just quite challenging to manage all that.
My name's Alicia Garland. My role is a camera operator, and in my role I operate cameras, obviously, with other people. Yes, this is my first time being a camera operator and using cameras to film something like this. I've used cameras before, but not in this way. It's a nice opportunity. I really enjoy working on set. Everybody that I work with is very cooperative and nice to work with. I think it's significantly more busy than I thought it would be, but it's still really enjoyable and nice to work around. I think if I could change my role, I'd probably be a project manager, just because I like to be in charge of things.